Hi, Alexis. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Grab a seat.
Awesome. How have you been?
I've been well. How have you been?
Good. Good. Glad to be here.
Awesome.
Another day, another dollar.
Yeah, right? Well, welcome to another performance review. This is just another step in the process. We're doing this with everybody right now, as you've seen. You're not here because of some extenuating circumstance. You've been acting out or anything in the office. All right. So how do you feel like you're fitting in with your dispatch team and your coworkers?
I feel like I'm doing okay. Every once in a while, there's miscommunication, and I never know how to approach management about those miscommunications. It's not about who takes responsibility for an issue. It's just that I feel like management isn't as approachable as I'd like them to be.
Gotcha. I'm going to take some notes on that.
Go for it.
Okay. So before we really get into the review of your performance specifically, is there anything you'd like to address with us outside of, management and not being too approachable?
Nothing off the top of my head. I really enjoy working here. I've met some really great people, and I feel like I'm doing really well. So I look forward to hearing what you have to say.
Yeah, all right, we'll get into this here. So your sales numbers since joining our team are among the best in our company. What do you attribute that success to?
I think that it's just a matter of being able to have a fair conversation with a client, and being able to form that level 3 connection that we've discussed. I know that you were you might have taken a class with Ellen Dove before. We talked about making a level 3 connection with our clients and about why we have to be able to make an in-depth relationship happen quickly.
Right, gotcha. Do you feel as though we've given you too many or too little responsibilities in your day-to-day tasks?
No, I don't think so.
Glad you're feeling comfortable with that. All right, so we're gonna take the next step into our performance review model. We used this one last time. Do you have any more questions though before we really dig into this one?
Nothing off the top of my head.
Awesome. Okay, so the way this works is we're gonna start here at number 1,
Okay.
and I'm gonna move to number 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Okay.
So on number 1, what I want you to keep doing, I want you to keep covering the shipments at the rate you have.
Sure.
You've covered the second most shipments since you've joined, and that includes, when you started, you had to go through training, including that time. So that is quite an accomplishment, and also you have the best profit margins out of anybody on our dispatch team.
Good
So that is great stuff to hang your hat on. Number 2 here, the only thing is we want you to stop using company time to make personal phone calls. We get things come up, but we prefer you do that when you're not on the clock, okay?
Okay.
You have a tremendous work ethic, and this is just a bad habit that we've seen forming,
Sure.
No big deal though. So, and then moving on to 3, I want you to start building more we have been. So it makes it harder to find customers. But when we build dedicated loads, we don't have to worry about that customer because that's already a dedicated load that is going to be ran that week, and we're going to make the money off it whether the market is in our favor or not. So that is something that we want you to start, all right?
Okay.
And then we want you to spend less time focusing on one particular order when you're having a hard time covering it.
Okay.
Right, so you've been struggling on one for a half hour, you've been making a whole bunch of calls to see if you can find a carrier, and you just haven't had any luck. We have special teams that are dedicated to covering these difficult loads, so just pass it on to them. There's no shame in saying, this is taking too much of my time.
Okay.
All right?
I'll work on it.
Yeah, no problems. And then we want you to be more personal with your phone calls and getting into even more level 3. The more level 3 communication or level 3 that you can have with your customers is when you get to build those dedicated loads, and building those trusts.
Okay.
All right. In our last performance review, we set a goal of covering 20% more loads than you had been and increasing your profit margin by 2%. And you cleared those goals. You did it very well.
All right.
So, what goals do you want to set for yourself for the next 6 months?
I think in the next 6 months, I'd like to be able to seek a promotion. I don't know whether I would like that to be more responsibility or less responsibility, but I want to be able to have that dedication to the company of promising some success for. I feel like I've built some leadership characteristics in working here,
Right.
so I hope to be able to utilize those characteristics.
You know, we're really happy to hear you talk about a promotion because we do have a position that we're going to be adding to a team, and it would be seen as a promotion from your current position.
Awesome.
And so, you know, bringing it up, you know, shows us that initiative in you, and we really enjoy seeing that out of our employees, and especially our new employees who have been growing at such a quick rate. So, as far as goals for the next 6 months, all right, we want you to shoot for covering 15% more orders than you currently do, and continue to drive that profit margin up by another 2%. It's difficult, but you know, we really think that you're up for the task. We really do.
Okay. Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. All right. So you know, that's all the questions that I have for you today. Do you have any topics that you want to talk about that we haven't already covered?
I think I was just wondering how loads are, how they're formatted whenever we print out the delivery form.
Mm-hmm.
How do I need to? I feel like my format is incorrect. Do you have an example that I could see maybe after the appraisal?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. No. We haven't had any issues with the way that you're formatting it,
Okay.
but we can definitely, when we're done here, we'll head over and we can do, you know,
Awesome.
cover that again.
Yeah.
For you, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, you know, we do this. This is your second performance appraisal. You know, we hired you 3 months and then 6 months. Your next one isn't going to be for another 6 months, so you do have a little bit more time to boost up, you know, the goals that we've set for you today. Okay.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll go take a look at those forms.
Oh, awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.